We're backstage at Reading, apparently in Dolly Parton's Super Deluxe Winnebago. The Manics have joined me, well Nicky and James have from the band. Let's get the obvious question out of the way first of all. You know, what's happened with Richey? I mean, what's the situation at the moment?
He's improving. That's about it, you know. He was in a pretty bad way, and he's improved since he reached the zenith of shitness. He's got a little bit better. We've known each other for so long, we've all got our sort of idiosyncrasies. And, you know, reached a point where Richey's just became massively overblown, you know. His mutilation, his drinking, his lack of food, you know, and it's just reached a peak of, like I said, reached a peak of ugliness, really. And I think we both realised you know, himself, us, and perhaps his parents as well, realised that something had to be done.
Just went past the point where it didn't even seem like, you know, he was trying to perpetuate some kind of self-myth, you know, because it went past there, you know. So when somebody stops, you know, rationalising their kind of self-abuse, then that's when it was wrong, I suppose.
When someone phones you up at 5 in the morning, 5 times a week, saying, "Is General Kurtz telling the truth in Apocalypse Now?" then I think you realise that something's going wrong. Well, the thing is, as people and as a band, we're probably more open, you know, and friends and all the rest of it, and all that crap, American-style talking, than any other band, you know. We've done nothing else but talk for like 5 years constantly, so we all know each other's faults and problems. It's just that sometimes you can't do anything about them. You know, it needs to reach a peak for something to be done, really. I think what made his question is the vast amount of vanity, you know, in music and in the music industry itself.
In what way?
Just, you know, you realise that everybody's got such a large degree of self-importance. Come here today and you witness that, you know, and it just sucks, you know. And it's just, I think Richey had a massive kind of negative vanity in that he was so obsessed with himself that he completely damaged himself, you know. And it's just vanity, really. I think we realised that we've got to do something about it as being in a band.
Was this an ongoing thing during the recording of the album, James? I mean, was this sort of something that was evolving then?
To be honest, not really, because it really was a very sharp intake of breath in terms of like when he finally went off the deep end, because we played Glastonbury and he really enjoyed himself, kind of thing. But I just think, you know, the thing is we've always been quite a nihilistic band in terms of not believing in anything, but we've always like been the kind of band that really wants to try and believe in something. So I think it's just really accumulative, and you know, any kind of signs are not that hard to read are very hard to read when it's been an ongoing situation for like, you know, 4 years, you know. It's
just like you look back on our career, and like the first song we wrote was Suicide Alley, the cover version we did was Suicide is Painless, a song called Spectators of Suicide. You know, the first Sounds cover we had, Richey had a shirt saying "Kill Yourself." You know, and you think we all did that sort of thing, and you think it bypasses you, but perhaps these things build up more than you think. You know, that's the only way I can explain it, really.
I kind of, when I was, you know, doing the album and having to sing a lot of the lyrics, kind of like basically on the album, kind of like there really are only, I think, 2 songs that are quite personal, and the rest are from a different perspective.
4 times £7.
Probably 3 to 2 songs that are quite personal, but that leaves another 11 songs that are written from other people's perspectives or about other events. So, you know, that's always been the case for us, to be honest, that kind of ratio of like personal songs and songs that are not particularly in the first person. And it's kind of like, no, because kind of like, perhaps I was just corny enough to think that kind of, you know, the album was some kind of catharsis or something, but it obviously wasn't, you know.
What does this album say about, you know, where the Manics are at now then? I mean, as far as you're concerned?
Just trying to reject, you know, a lot of the things we've done over the last 2 years, really, or come to terms with them at least.
So what's going to happen today? Is it a stripped down version of the Manics, just you 3?
You'll probably like us for the first time out today.
Yeah, shitty 3-piece.
Shitty little mud trio.
Since filming this interview at Reading, the Beat have been told that Richey has come out of hospital and will be joining the rest of the band for their UK tour, which kicks off at the beginning of October.